Ugly Sonic. We've always been fans of his. We don't even really recognize Pretty Sonic.
Yeah,
we like Ugly
as we
Sonic.
call him.
Look, I think it just fit in the world we were part of the conceit of Rescue Rangers was that cartoons could get plastic surgery. They could make themselves look different.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
Dan, Doug, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah. So The Naked Gun, just Liam Neeson, and just a lot of I guess, fart jokes and crude humor, sucks you into windows, all types of humor. And what was it like? Is
there a question here?
Yeah, there's a question. So what was it like trying to come up with this, working on this project and trying to cram all these silly types of humor into this?
We just sort of tried to, get in touch with our inner child, which is convenient because we're adult children.
Yeah.
And
each of us was on a different toilet talking the whole time to each other.
I mean that's to us the joy of getting to play in this space is that like jokes can be really silly, really ridiculous. Everything is sort of available, and we didn't want to censor ourselves in any way.
Oh yeah, and I think there's when watching this, I was like I couldn't stop laughing. I think the crowd loved it. They were laughing too, like throughout, and. So many jokes, but there's one segment I want to talk about, just like the Snowman, and so I don't know how much you could talk about it, but what was the conception like with that, and how far did you go? Was there anything on the editing floor?
There might be more sex scene moments, but not really. We're hoping
there was nothing too far. I mean, like we definitely had more stuff about like them becoming a family, like and serving like waffles and teaching the snowman how to read.
Yeah, that was in there.
And
so we actually made it more PG. That we eventually ended up cutting that.
Yeah.
But that was the sort of process of creating that started very much from honestly being obsessed with the original movie, the original Naked Gun, where they have this, to us, one of the most like iconically hilarious love montages of all time.
Love montage, yeah.
And the scene where they're about to make love wearing full body condoms is genuinely one of the best physical prop gags of all time. And so we were just very aware going into our movie that like there were some things that we just were not going to beat. We're just not going to be even worth attempting to do our version of. Or sort of try to do better than, because it's just so perfect. And so, nevertheless, this movie does require, these characters to fall in love. And we were like, how do we show that? And so we really kind of just figured very quickly, like, we really need to zag here. We have to do something that's really just not the expectation of a love montage. And so we started talking about like, oh, what if it became like a horror movie? That was sort of the concept that we sort of weirdly sort of landed on. And then we had a couple areas of horror genre stuff, and Akiva went home that night and just like in his sleep basically like spat out almost verbatim what ended up in the movie. And he came in the next morning, and then we were just like, this is psychotic. And really, just sort of kept that going throughout. We were also very aware that like this is just Jack Frost, this stupid kids movie, this crazy horror movie, and we really just need that snowman to be like, it's the Henson Workshop made the puppet, but we really need it to just be a very silly, mediocre, practical puppet. It's not CGI. It's not meant to feel like good. It has to be silly and hokey.
Oh yeah. And so watching this, Liam Neeson, he's in this, and I'm like, how did they get him in it? And also, I feel like once he's in it, let's try to write like all the stuff that he probably wouldn't want to do and just make him suffer. That's the feeling I get out of it. So, what was it like on your end, just doing that?
I mean, look, there's just this movie lives and dies with Liam. This doesn't happen without him. Him agreeing to do this and wanting to do it is why it exists. You have one of the greatest actors of all time with this gravitas and this, who's done dramatic roles after dramatic roles, done action movies. He hasn't really done this, so that's the gift of Liam, is he's coming with all of this amazing, baggage, this history. And it was in the room while we were writing, we're trying to make ourselves laugh by doing bad Liam Neeson impressions, and we're like, will this be funny? Like,
I mean,
the
the Buffy run where he's like talking about her accidentally deleting his Buffy episodes is a case in point. We're just like asking ourselves this basic assignment of like, what's the stupidest thing that doesn't belong in Liam Neeson's mouth?
Yep.
Right. And so we're just like, yeah, I want to hear Liam Neeson talk about being a super fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and that.
And I remember sitting in the room, and it's like it became Buffy, but at first it was just like, that's my TiVo.
Yes, him talking about TiVo.
You erased my show. I gave this to you so you could get some of my references. Like, we were just like, okay, this feels like an area. And I would say that Liam, he was game for everything. So, it maybe felt like it was like, this guy didn't want to do anything. It like almost feels weird to see this very serious actor do it. But Liam, the person, could not have been more game and more of a joy in this movie. I mean, he would
jump in, and then in a delightful way, again, after doing something particularly stupid as per the script, they'd yell cut, and he would just shout and go, "I'm Oscar Schindler, damn it, what's happened to me?" and we were like, yeah, that's him just jumping in head first and being self-aware that we're basically getting the privilege to expend some of his sincere capital.
Yeah. And one of the things that I enjoyed just the plot device and the reason, or not the reason, but like just what it does to people. So I'm not sure how much spoilers we can talk about here, but just everything about that with a surprise character, artist, and all that. So what was that like, just being so overtly like, here's how stupid we're gonna have these setups.
That's. I mean, again, like in the best way, we have 30 years of genre, of action movies, of superhero movies, all that stuff that is sort of untouched from the previous iterations of the Naked Gun movies for us to get to play with, and there's just so many movies in the last 20, 30 years that take something of this effect of like a supervillain looking to functionally destroy the world with some all-powerful device, and that to us felt like just very ripe territory for spoof of something that could be very on the nose about a plot device. I think when we found that acronym of primordial law of toughness, we were like, nice, we found the acronym that makes this stupid joke work.
And then I want to talk about how you are able to bring a character that's hated by many and then afterwards beloved by many, going back to Chippendale's Rescue Rangers with Ugly Sonic.
Oh, thank you.
So what was that like, the inception, and just your reaction to how people just now are warming up to him?
To Ugly Sonic?
To Ugly Sonic, yes.
Oh, I love that we're talking about Ugly Sonic.
Ugly Sonic, we've always been fans of his. We don't even really recognize Pretty Sonic.
Yeah,
like Ugly
as we
Sonic.
call him.
Look, I think it just fit in the world we were part of. The conceit of Rescue Rangers was that cartoons could get plastic surgery, they could make themselves look different, and
that was a great genesis too. I mean, Rescue Rangers, more than probably any movie ever, exists on the many hard labors of the lawyers. They work so hard to get all of these very disparate clearances on all these completely different properties and characters. And that was a character that, like, originally for a long time was Jar Jar Binks, because we were like, oh, we want someone, and he was more of like a
Shakespearean kind of like a Michael Caine,
like an Ian McKellen kind of like. He's like, I performed in Othello in Broadway, and now I've been brought low by this heinous caricature. And and
The idea of cast-off characters.
cast-off actors who sort of like had their careers had burnt out, and that was it for a long time. And then it eventually it worked its way even through like animatics, where it was still Jar Jar Binks, and then eventually, I think Kathleen Kennedy was like, "Fuck no, get this out of the fucking movie," and we were like, "Okay," and so then we kind of went back to the drawing board and tried to think of other characters that had disgraced themselves in the public eye. And Sonic was like just enough in the rearview mirror that it worked out perfectly. We couldn't be happier. Yeah, honestly, I think it's better for having become Ugly Sonic than Jar Jar, which has so much other sort of baggage and other things. But I think, I mean,
couldn't be happier through Reaction.
And the casting of Tim Robinson in that doesn't get better than anyone we could have ever hoped for. Also,
Oh yeah. No, I love that, and I think I'm blurry, but I just want to say thank you for taking the time for doing the interview, and I can't wait till everyone else gets to check out The Naked Gun, Liam Neeson, all the fart jokes, when it comes out in theaters.
Thank you. Please tell your fans to hold in their farts.